Hi, you're listening to the Bookkeepers Podcast, sponsored by Xero. I'm Jo Wood.
And I'm Zoe Whitman. Join us and our incredible guests for insider knowledge from successful bookkeepers, business experts, and thought leaders.
We are on a mission to build a more confident bookkeeping community. Our bookkeepers are happier, have more freedom, and earn more. Join us every week and we will show you how.
Hi and welcome to the Bookkeepers Podcast, live from the Bookkeepers Summit. I'm Zoe Whitman and I'm really excited to be joined by my good friends Leanda Daddow and Stacey Smith from Celtic Bookkeeping and Accounts. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
Leanda, do you want to start by telling us a bit about the practice and how you got started in your journey so far?
So when I left Barclays Bank way back many years ago now, we're looking at 2010. That makes me feel old. I decided that I didn't want to work for anybody else, I wanted to work for myself, and I'd already been doing bookkeeping for my husband, so I embarked on the ICB qualification course then and set up my practice, Celtic Bookkeeping, and continued on that journey probably from 2010 right the way through to just before 2020 as a sole trader, and then I brought people in, I let people go, kind of built it up. It was really busy, which is what I thought was good. And then 2018 hit and I suffered some personal trauma. Over 2 years we had 8 bereavements in our family and I had a total mental breakdown, and I decided that I was shutting my practice doors, and at that point I'd sacked all my staff. Stacey had come to join me to support me for admin a few years earlier, and we decided that in actual fact we wanted to shut and that we were going to go and do whatever we wanted to do. COVID hit and everybody needed help, so we couldn't shut, but it was just us two. So we formed our little bubble together. And then what we did at that point was we'd come across 6FB, and I pinched some money from my children's savings because I didn't have it in the business. And from 2020 to now, we have totally transformed our practice. We now have 2 offices in Cornwall. We have a team of 6 in Cornwall. We have 1 remote worker and 3 or 4 subcontractors that we use consistently. Stacey manages the office day to day, running of it. And I travel full time with my family and still run the practice. I'm currently converting a fire engine to travel around the world in.
Oh my gosh, I've got so many questions for you. So Stacey, you joined in an admin role and you've moved into, I think of you as head of operations. Do you want to tell me a bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I came to help Lee out for a bit and never really left.
as happens.
As that happens. So yeah, I'm in charge of the team, sort of processes, organisation. Lee's more the driving force behind the business is how I would describe her. So she's the one that looks to the future and I'm busy in the background making sure everything's working and running smoothly.
I think that's really helpful to have a right-hand person in business.
Yeah. I think that's my personal strong point, and I think that's Lee's, and we kind of try and work to our strong points, and it works well as a partnership.
Nice. So what's the size of the practice now? How many clients have you got?
133, and that's split across sole traders who we do the full package for, bookkeeping, self-assessments and their accounts, and limited companies. We do right the way through to the year end as well. We also have a tax advisor that we bring into the practice now who does a lot of tax advice, because we specialise in construction and property. It's forever changing. And you don't always want to be staying on top of all that information at the same time, so we bring in the people that can help us. I'm very much a believer of employing somebody who's better at the job than you are, and it really does help. So that we've got that. The team in the office, all of our team work part-time, nobody works full-time, and most of them work school hours.
Love that. Okay, so you mentioned that you are travelling full-time.
Yes.
So you're not based in Cornwall all the time, and I can remember meeting you when you were cycling with your family, might be crazy, from Land's End to John O'Groats. We've met as well when you've been dog sitting. I was Leanda's somewhere near me, we had to hang out. Tell me about how that came about, because I guess in 2020 when you decided you had to continue with the practice, that wasn't the case.
No, so we were building our house, and the last person who we lost was Ben's mum, and we'd all lived together in the house, and we decided that we wanted to go on a trip after we lost her, so we were shutting the practice and we bought a camper van. 3 days later we went into lockdown, and the plan was then that we were going to do some travelling, do some trips with Ben's dad, and then we'd come back and we'd go back to 9 to 5, join the hamster wheel, and the kids would be at school. You'd have said to me in 2020, you're going to be travelling the world, homeschooling your kids. I would have gone, no, I'm not. COVID schooling was horrendous. Homeschooling during COVID was ridiculous. So the plan was to grow the business or make the business successful. So at that point, we were losing money. It was costing me to run the business. So, and everybody would go, hey, you're a bookkeeper, you're an accountant. Well, yeah, we were, but we were doing the job and just firefighting, keeping on top of it. Wasn't charging enough. I think we were charging £12.50 an hour in 2020, which is ridiculous. But when you're just constantly busy, you don't get a chance to step back and take that look at it. So the plan was just to live a normal life. Well, I say that sounds stereotypical, but I don't mean normal, but I mean what society believes is normal. The 9 to 5, daddy works Monday to Friday, mummy works in the office, the kids go to school, they'll go to clubs on a weekend. And that was a plan in 2020.
So what changed? Did you guys have a conversation at some point where you decided things had to change, or what happened? Did you just tell you?
She just comes up with these crazy ideas, and I go, that won't last long. I'll leave her think that one out. I mean, we're not on the boat anymore, are we?
No. So we were going to buy a boat and sail around the world.
Okay.
So I could cope with a fire truck.
So tell me about the fire truck.
So we have bought a 20-year-old fire engine. It's currently being converted and it's going to be our permanent home. So we will live on it and we will just travel.
Wow.
As bookkeepers and business owners ourselves, we love Xero, cloud-based accounting software right at your fingertips.
Xero's simple, intuitive interface makes managing finances a breeze. No more number crunching or late nights. With Xero, you can focus on what you love, while it takes care of the rest.
Ready to simplify your financial life? Visit Xero.com and start your free trial today.
From your point of view, Stacey, in terms of, I feel like you're doing a lot of the running of the business if Leander's way.
I am, but equally I don't work full time. So when I'm not running the business, I actually am a swim teacher. So I fit two areas in. Like I always have school holidays off. We quite often go on a relaxing tropical holiday, not a adventurous, exhausting holiday.
So what had to happen for Leanda to step away from the business? Like, you know, when you went from Land's End to John O'Groats, that was months you were out.
75 days we were on the road cycling.
75 days. So for you to be out of the business for were you really out of the business completely for 75 days, or what did that look like?
That looked like me getting my laptop out on the side of the road to run a payroll because nobody else knew how to do it.
Right.
That looked like me preparing work at 5 a.m. before we got up to do the bike ride because the work still needed to be done. And at that point, we hadn't put the systems or the processes in place that allowed me not to be involved day to day. It was a steep learning curve. It was a steep learning curve for you and the team.
Yeah, and in some senses it was a great learning curve because I think when you've got someone there that knows the answer, you go and ask the answer, but actually if they're not there to answer the question, you work it out for yourself. But payroll was an issue, wasn't it? I think that was our major learning point, is if Lee's not here, we need someone that can do payroll for us.
And what did you do? Has that changed now?
Yeah, so we've outsourced our payroll to a payroll provider, and yeah, it's taken away that headache.
What's the team dynamic like in the office without Leanda there? Is it different? Like how motivated are the team?
We've got a really, really good team, and I think that's how we've been able to do it, haven't we? Like, they're very proactive. Like, I don't tend to get involved in the day-to-day bookkeeping. Those guys manage their workload between the four of them, and I'm just there to do the final checks at the end, which is what's freeing up my time to not be in there 9 to 5 as well.
So this event that we're at today is about bookkeeping in the future. What do you think is going to change next in your practice? You've obviously learned how to remove yourself and what systems are involved there. Do you feel like your role as a bookkeeper is changing for your clients?
So for me, it's funny because the opening conversation today was about working out your dream and doing it, and we were having a conversation to say we've been asking our clients what their dream is for 3 or 4 years. Like, I'm living my dream. If I can live my dream, my clients can achieve their dreams. So our dream as a practice is to have somebody running the practice so Stacey doesn't have to be involved every day. And in actual fact, then we can go out and have those more in-depth conversations with clients, and we can also go out there and support other bookkeepers and help them and just work with other people to say that in actual fact, if we all work together and collaborate, then in actual fact we can provide a better service to everyone.
what process do you take your clients through in terms of defining what the goal is? Like, the dream. How do you help them? Because I think we forget this when we're in business.
It starts with our onboarding, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So like we have a chat with them at the start to find out about their business, but also talk to them about like what is their long-term goal for them personally? Like, do they want to be in their business for the next 20, 30 years? Or do they want to be able to like switch off and take that time out? So,
Or do they want to buy the house? Do they want to buy a car? Do they want the kids to go to uni? Do they just want to buy a sparkly handbag at Christmas? Like, so not everybody is. I'm quite an extreme version of what I'm doing. I know it's not normal.
It's
okay?
just not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's totally normal.
It's fine. So, but having those conversations with our clients and letting them actually realise that in actual fact, working, we all have to work. We all have to earn money. But in actual fact, as long as it's making you happy and you're doing what you want to do, and you can see that coming, it won't happen overnight. It's taken me 15 years. But by having those conversations now, you start planning for the future, and the goals will change.
And then your goal, your role in that is helping them with the finances.
And see it and spot it early. Like, there is too much unaccountability in this world, unfortunately. In the world of finance we live in, there's, like with everything, varying standards. And as bookkeepers and accountants, we need to be held accountable to make sure that our clients are successful. And we should all be doing that.
I love that. Okay, so final question. For anyone who's watching this or listening to this and they're thinking, you know what, I have a goal and I need to remove myself from my business a bit to give me more space for that. Thinking about this from both sort of points of view, somebody in the operation, somebody who is able to remove themselves, what would your advice be to somebody to make sure that they can give themselves a bit more space to pursue their goals?
Be aware that it is going to be uncomfortable. I am a control freak. I like to do everything and I like to know everything and I like to understand everything. And you can't do that when you're not in the office 9 to 5. You have to sometimes just say, all right, that's fine. I don't like it, but just crack on with it. But also understand that the team, and that's where I come back to, employ the team that are better than you. I don't do graphics, I don't do creativity. The girl that does our creativity, she also does our bookkeeping, she does our onboarding, she does our AML. She's on top of it. When it was just us, we're like, which one did we do next? So have a team that actually are better than you, and you don't need to know everything. You can hire in the specialists. You don't have to work them working with you 9 to 5, but build that team and actually make the team a lot larger than what it is in your office.
How about you, Stacey?
I think the main thing we've learned is that if you can't, you need to be able to remove yourself from your business to work on your business. So you're not in it, you're working on it. But if that's not possible, then you probably need to look at your pricing, because if you're not charging enough, you can't actually remove yourself to be able to move it forward. I think that's one of our biggest lessons.
Lovely. Oh, it's been absolutely lovely to speak to you both. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode, and we've got lots more conversations coming up at the Bookkeepers Summit. We'll see you in another episode of the Bookkeepers Podcast soon.
You've been listening to the Bookkeepers Podcast, sponsored by Xero.
Check out our YouTube channel, join our community, the Six Figure Bookkeepers Club, on Facebook, and if you love what we do, please rate and review this podcast. See you next time. Bye!